the bad things or the stupid things, you learn not to do bad things or stupid things. All those things are beneficial in some way if you can get through them. Dumb shit that I've done or the bad mistakes that I've made, they've taught me. You know, you learn. That's why failure is so important. Like failing and fucking up and making mistakes, very important. That's how you learn. The bad feeling that you get from something that you shouldn't have done or wish you didn't do or wish you did better, like especially failing at something where you half-assed it and you just feel like a fucking loser, like that just teaches you, get your shit together.
Well, you have such a good ability to learn from those things. Some people, I think, kind of repeat, you know, it's just like it gets repetitive for some people.
That's dangerous. Dangerous to dwell on past mistakes because people sort of define themselves by the worst moments that they've ever had. And if that's the case, like some people are stuck in high school. They're stuck in failures that they had like when they were first getting jobs, and they always think that they're a loser, and they don't like the feeling of failure, so they keep low expectations so that they never have to feel that. You gotta get through bad feelings. You gotta get through failure. It's very important. And you get through it by just picking yourself back up and moving forward and going. But it's hard for a lot of people because that sting, they never get over it, the feeling of failure. And they don't have a good support system, like good friends. Like having a good community of friends is very, very important, because you could feel like down, like if a girl broke up with you and you feel like you're the worst, you're a fucking loser, like you're a piece of shit. But then you go out with your friends and you have a few laughs, and next thing you know, you're laughing and you're like, I'm all right, we'll be all right. And then maybe you meet a new lady and she like picks you up and you're like, oh, we're gonna be okay. And then you learn from the last mistakes. That's life. Those feelings of failure are so hard. They're so hard to get over, and they overwhelm people, and some people can't get past them. And then every time some new thing comes up, when you have to rise to the occasion, you have to perform, you think about that time you failed, and it fucks your head up, man. You think, I'm a fucking loser, I can't do this, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fuck up, you know? Like bombing. Like how many times have you had a bad set and you're like, God damn it, I suck at comedy, I can't do this. And then you define yourself that way, and you gotta get over it.
Did you feel like you learned that from somebody, or did you always just have that kind of intuition when it comes to that kind of stuff?
I think I learned it from martial art. You get your ass kicked, and like you don't want to get your ass kicked again. You either quit fighting or you learn how to get a lot better, you know? And then you get your ass kicked in training, which happens all the time. You learn from those mistakes. You learn maybe you were stationary too much, or maybe you telegraphed too much, or maybe you got tired, haven't been doing your cardio. Like those failures that you have from martial arts are so consequential because you get hurt. Like you physically get punished, and then you don't want that to happen again. So you got to be either quit or get way better. It's because people need stuff like that. They need something. Generally, the best version of it is coming from someone who's experienced fuck-ups and got through it.
Yeah, it's crazy to sometimes think like, I'm going to see what happens when I decide that I am qualified. What happens when I decide for myself that I'm going to do something different? You know, one thing, you know, Jocko Willink was in here last week, and one thing that's really been pressing with me that we discussed is staying motivated. And I have been finding myself more motivated even when I do not feel like doing something to do it. My brain can feel a certain way, but it's not going to choose how I behave all the time. I just can't let it do it anymore. I'm going to have setbacks, I know, but if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because yeah, nothing changes and nothing changes, man. You know, we'll sit around forever wondering, well, what if I was a dog catcher? Would I be the best? Until you say, yeah, I'm going to take action. Nothing changes if nothing changes, man. And I'm not preaching at you. I'm just, I just want to remind you, because I've spent a lot of time in my life sitting around wanting things to change and not being able to make them change, and not thinking I could. And I wish somebody had told me that earlier sometimes, that in order for something to change, there needs to be change.